Hello, ladies and gents, and whatever may not be either of those. Welcome to Rock Talk, which is Hoof Hearted's first thing, but is not pony related. Yes.
You mean we're not only doing ponies, Greg?
Yeah, we actually get to do
we've
something.
done lots of non-pony stuff before.
Okay, but
not any podcast related.
I thought
Most of our podcasts are mostly pony focused.
I
But-
thought
You know, since everything has been on fucking hiatus, apparently, Cough, Gravity Falls, and this, Steven Universe, we really haven't had a chance to do anything other than MLP-focused podcasts. So, yeah, we're starting Rock Talk off tonight, which is pretty much where we talk about the latest Steven Universe episode and other random shit we may feel is necessary to blab on and on about.
We talk rocks.
We talk rocks, man. But,
you ready to rock?
introductions. First, you have me. Hi, I'm Greg. I do things. I edit this podcast.
that
Hello.
is quite the introduction, Greg.
Yeah, I know. I'm very informative. Next we have Treebeard. What would you like to say about yourself?
Well, I am Treebeard.
He's the angry one.
I mean, I'm pretty angry. This is true.
He very much likes criticism in a good
I do.
way.
I love criticism.
Mm-hmm.
Criticism is like my lifeblood. Then again, I'm also a writer and an animator, so yeah.
So yeah, it's kind of needed.
It's necessary. You gotta do it.
Gotta
Fucking
do
Alex
it.
Hirsch, man. Alex Hirsch fucking said that you gotta listen to your critics because they're always right.
Just
Yeah.
do it.
Do it.
All right, but moving on, we have Scott.
Hi, I'm me.
Yes, you are you. You're the Scottiest of Scots, but you are not Scottish.
No, contrary
Not
to
as far as we
popular
know.
belief.
And finally, we have Chris, who I do not believe has been in a podcast yet for us.
Ooh,
Hello, Chris.
I've been stuck in my basement drawing, and I've been a rock.
He's an
He's-
animator.
He is now wrong.
He's a slave to his trade.
I'm
This
a
is
rock
true.
now. I'm a kid now. I'm a rock now.
Don't start that. We don't need.
Oh no.
Squid,
I don't even know what to call
Nintendo's
Rock
gonna
Splatoon.
shut us down.
Oh no,
Oh no, Nintendo
Oh,
copyright
no.
detected us. We're ruined.
Greg, take that off.
Goodness. All right, but yeah, moving on. Now that you got to know us, and by that I mean we all said our names and stupid shit that really wasn't important. But Close
Made
enough.
shit really awkward.
yeah, I'm sure you just annoyed. You're already annoyed already. You're like, get to the fucking episode. But before that, we're actually just gonna go for a little brief section where we talk about our each of our experiences with the series, because we've
This
all
is our
gotten
first
started-
episode
Yeah,
talking about Steven Universe.
it's our
so-
first Rock Talk. We're just gonna go for a brief retrospective of what we like about the show, how we got to know it, and then we'll get to the episode. So yeah, hold your
Probably-
horses.
Are we gonna talk about our favorite gym too? Just like briefly.
Sure,
Yeah, okay.
whatever you want. But
Do it.
all right, who would like to start off?
Whoever, I guess.
Don't be shy.
Chris, you go.
Fuck.
Crass.
I had to open my big fat mouth. Well,
Do
I
it.
didn't.
Do it.
I didn't get into the whole series until it started getting serious, because this was like mid-semester for me, and I was like, why does everybody like Steven Universe so much? I never liked it at first. Let me tell you that. And everybody started telling me all these good things about it. I'm like, fine, I'll watch it from episode 1 till that era where they start fighting, where they jailbreak, the episode Jailbreak. And I gotta say, I never felt so much emotion in some episodes. Like, some episodes might feel very like, oh, this is a random episode, like that Uncle Grandpa episode. That was just for funsies.
This is April Fool's Day episode, yes.
Yeah, that episode was I don't even know what to say about that one still.
I kind of thought it was
It's
canon.
Uncle
Like,
Grandpa.
Oh, please, no. Motherfucking everybody's Uncle and Grandpa.
It did get me to laugh a lot. But anyways.
Mhm. So yeah, I love character development. I loved all the progression that's been going through. Everybody opens up. Like it's not like focused onto one person like Steven. It's focused on many people. So that's why I like it. Story that progresses through each character. Just like today's episode, which we'll talk about later.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, and my favorite My favorite gem is between Amethyst and Pearl.
All right. Scott, you go next.
I've kind of been I wasn't really too into this series. I mean, I'd catch it on TV back when I actually had cable. Now I don't. Long story. Don't feel like talking about it.
The epic adventures of Scott and his lack of cable.
Scott!
Sure, you're good.
It's pretty much back when I just would feel like watching Cartoon Network for no reason in the afternoon, or have just, play in the background while I'm playing computer games. Something to listen to.
Yeah.
But then people are like, no, you should totally actually focus on watching this. I'm fine or whatever. When people are actually kind of getting into it, then I just watched all the way through to whatever the season finale or whatever that one was, season 1, or with the whole jailbreak, I guess. Yeah,
It's one
and
of those.
I liked it.
moments.
You liked it. It's good.
It's good. It's a good show.
I mean, the character development's great. The weapons are interesting that they use. Their powers. Powers are pretty cool. The fact that they're all sort of, all their stuff is kind of related to the gem they represent. I want to say like the whole cleavage thing. It's like, oh, yes, we
Nice.
talked about this for a while.
Wait, so explain this. I actually have not heard of this yet.
Pearls don't have cleavage, which is why Pearl is flat chested.
Oh.
Oh, I never thought about that.
Oh.
before.
That's yeah.
That's really smart.
Yeah, it's pretty smart about that, it's kind of fun. Because
I have not heard that yet.
TG
Tell
brought
us-
that up a while ago, actually.
Viewers, why don't you tell us what you think in the comments below? I never thought about that before, but now it's stuck in my head.
That's funny. That's really
Like,
smart.
Whoa.
But yeah, anything else you want to add, Scott? Any favorite gem or
I like the lion. He's the best character.
Lion's pretty rad.
Reminds me of my cat. Reminds me of everybody's cat.
My cat.
My cat sleeps on my face.
All right. Treebeard, go.
Okay. Yeah, with Steven Universe, I ended up watching it mostly because there's lots of people talking about it, and I at least wanted to have a legitimate opinion of it. And when I first started watching it, I didn't really like it all that much. I thought Steven was was a really irritating character. And it wasn't until that the meta plot started kicking in that I actually started liking the show.
Just snuck up on you, didn't it? Snuck up on you.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just a lot. Yeah, it wasn't until that point that I really started enjoying it, in that the character development is pretty solid, and I kind of have like the opposite idea of Chris, who you say you liked it because there's like a lot of characters in it. I like that there's sort of a narrow focus.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't stretch itself too thin over too many characters. It
It's
feels like
typically
it knows
focusing on the gems and Steven and,
yeah, it knows exactly who it wants to focus on, which is good. It seems by this point the story seems to know exactly what it wants to do.
It knows what it is.
And favorite gem, yeah, I'm kind of between Amethyst and Pearl, actually.
Seriously, right?
Yeah.
Why not pick the giant woman?
Rose.
why not
They're
both?
like-
You can't
I
have
never
both.
really liked Garnet all that much, actually.
No, I think
No,
maybe
no,
the
them
fusion.
combined
Rose.
together.
Rose
Maybe in the
quartz.
fusion, yeah.
Not Rose.
Or rose quartz.
That's not Rose. No, she's not.
You said the giant woman. That's Rose. Because
The giant woman. The giant woman.
No, but Giant Woman is the fusion between,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Mr. Greg Dog.
Okay.
Good with names.
So, I have a pretty similar kind of story to how, pretty much I think Treebeard described it. Like, I was curious as to why people kept talking about it. I heard a lot of good things about it, and I was like, oh, I'm curious. I'm gonna check this out. That seems to be like how a lot of these things go in terms of like animation. It was the same with MLP and Gravity Falls. But, Yeah, it was kind of the same way. I was through like the first 20 episodes, and I'm like, okay, this is okay, but I'm not really seeing like anything hooking me yet. But once the meta plot kicked in, and you had the whole backstory about them being aliens and the homeworld and the conflict and all this lore and stuff, then you get really hooked. Because you want to start learning more, and you're interested, and you're wondering about the past and how all of this stuff is connected. And yeah, from that point, the season, or the series, it really just heats up from that point. I feel like it's been really on fire. You get really invested in the episode. You really want to learn a lot more about the character's past, like everything from Amethyst's like kindergarten to, like the whole battle with Rose and the whole rebellion. You're like, I'm still curious to learn more. They've shown us a little, but still, we're in the dark on a lot of this stuff. And yeah, it's just pretty cool. And other things I just like, I think the music is for the most part good. Sometimes the songs are pretty catchy.
They are very catchy.
And they kind of come out of nowhere, but they seem to blend into the plot, and they kind of like how they usually have like a dance to go with them, or kind of like a rhythm to them, if that makes any sense.
Garnet's voice actor is actually an R&B singer.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I would buy that. But yeah, I would say favorite gem is probably Amethyst. But one thing I would point out that Garnet was kind of cold for most of the initial first season, but she seems to have kind of picked up her attitude a lot since I think it was the season 1 finale when she got split.
Yeah, jailbreak.
She's a lot more expressive now, and it really just makes her a lot more gleeful and, a little more fun to watch. But anyways, yeah, I've kind of been, she's risen up my list a lot lately. So yeah, that pretty much sums up our initial thoughts on the series. So let's get to what you all came for. This week is it Stephen Boom? Stephen Baum? Yeah, Stephen Baum.
Stephen Baum.
So we have a new episode to cover every single day this week. So yeah, we'll be doing 5 of these by the week is out. So yay, more editing for me, but should be good. It allows us to get a quick, head start on covering Steven Universe, and yeah, we'll just get in a rhythm with these things. So
we're late to the party.
Yeah, we're late to the party, but
Well, I mean, when we decided
I'm
to do
always
this,
late to the party.
well, we decided to talk about Steven Universe. It was during the hiatus, so we couldn't really talk about it because nothing was coming out.
Again, same with Gravity Falls too.
Yeah.
We're waiting for that hardcore, by the way. We'll be ready. But yeah, this episode was Sworn to the Sword, and yeah, it was. Well, we're gonna go for all our personal opinions. I was gonna say it's really damn good, but let's let everyone talk first. So, Scott.
It was pretty damn good.
Yeah.
Okay. No. I like before I get started, I kind of want to talk about the new intro, actually.
I was gonna bring that up too. Yeah, we finally got a new intro. Yeah.
Which actually foreshadows a lot, because we see Connie using the sword in the intro before the episode even starts. She's got Rose's sword. On her too. she's got Rose's sword. So
can I say she's Cloud now? She's Cloud.
Yeah, she looked like Cloud with the fucking Buster sword.
Hey, Cloud.
Hey, Cloud. What you doing there? You pushing this Cloud.
All right.
Anyway, we're here. Anyway, the actual episode, not the intro, because the intro can be It can be a podcast in and of itself, just analyzing what it's foreshadowing. But yes, Connie learns to use the sword. It was pretty cool, and we got more character development from Pearl about how she kind of where her, and kind of continues the whole trend she has with really. I want to. It's not respect. It's like the relationship between her and Rose.
Yeah, it's a really interesting and touchy relationship, and it's kind of interesting how they deal with the subject.
And
I'll get to that more in mind. But yeah,
she kind of imprints her philosophy onto Connie to the extreme, where Steven kind of gets, where I kind of like it, where Steven's like, no, this isn't right. You're not supposed to have this attitude. was great. I liked it. It was great. And it also kind of enforced the Connie-Steven relationship Connie and Steven have. So yeah, it was good.
It was good. Crass.
All right, I gotta admit, you're gonna hear me say this about everything I say, but I'm a sucker for episodes that slightly show like visions of the past, because it shows me the history behind it, how she was fighting in the war. Pearl, I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, the Gem
Yeah.
Wars.
War,
Mhm.
which never changes.
And
It
war,
has not changed.
whenever it changes, gems fighting everyone. But I kind of like how she's teaching Connie all this, and she realizes that, Rose, let me to do this. I'm nothing. She thinks of herself as nothing, but I'm pretty sure Rose told her, you're somebody. Don't do this for me. I could do this myself. You don't need to treat yourself like you're garbage. And that kind of got to me. I was like, holy shit. The heartbreak.
The feels.
The feels. Plus that song she sang though was beautiful.
Yeah, that was a great song.
I freaking loved it. And well, I never seen them play a jam. Jam buds. I never seen them play jam.
Well,
It was a
I-
jam, but it was not
Well,
Tiny
they-
Slam.
well,
Shush.
There was no slam in this jam.
Quiet. Stop it. Let's ask that guy to make a remix of that, please.
I'm sure somebody will. Tumblr's already
Oh God. Damn that Tumblr. And that's all I have to say about the episode. I'm looking forward to more episodes like that, where, well, mostly what I look forward to every day. More character development, more visions of the past. It's all good to me. As long as they don't kill it.
I like how the episodes are actually just really short 10-minute entries as opposed to the 22-minute standard.
Yeah, which
They have a
kind of...
nice flow to them.
Yeah. It gets a lot done in 10 minutes.
Also, I figure it's worth asking, are we going to do an out of 10 system for this, or do we just not want to do that?
Well, I don't really think I'm not sure we should.
That was my
I'm on
feeling.
an out
I'm like,
of 5,
I feel like
since
it's...
this is half the length of the shit that we usually look at.
Sure. Yeah, there's not as much to analyze here. So yeah, sure. Out of 5. So Scott, going back to you.
Wait, it's out of 5?
Out of 5.
rating
Four.
system.
4 out of
then.
5? Yeah.
4 out of 5, yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
And since it's Steven Universe, it'll be 4 stars out of 5. Oh.
Oh.
Oh, my phone. Alright, Crass.
I would say a 4 as well.
Alright. Treebeard, would you like to go before me, or which way do you wish to go?
I don't know. Do you want to go?
Yeah, you know what? I'll go for it. But, so yeah, this episode was... I really like how this series in particular seems to handle issues, especially emotionally. And the whole dynamic between Steven and Connie is pretty interesting, because they're still kids, but, you know, you can tell they like each other, but in the end, they're still kids. They're playful. They don't take their relationship, like, to a serious level. They're just enjoying life, and, you know... But you can still tell that, you know, Connie cares about Steven and she wants to defend him and be there on his side. And there's this whole speech where she explains it to Pearl, and it's kind of cute. And so, yeah, so she takes up sword fighting, which, yeah, she's pretty badass at it, surprisingly. Like, she did mention that, yeah, I've kind of sword fought before, though she's kind of, you know, humble about it. But yeah, she really picks it up fast, and Pearl's, like, grinding her pretty hard. But the way that Pearl imprinted herself onto Connie was really powerful. I really didn't expect, like, that kind of powerful of a, I don't know, what would you call it, like a message or anything to be displayed. But, yeah, how, like, the moment that she's like, you're nothing compared to Steven. I'm like, holy shit.
Knight's Code,
It was too
actually.
much of it. It was a very bad, it was an extreme that you don't want to reach.
Yeah, and, you know, and you can just kind of, that whole scene just kind of shows how Pearl thought of herself as compared to Rose at the time. And it's really sad. Like, you can tell, like, she cared about her so much, and she only felt it was right that Connie should also be dirt. because Steven, in Pearl's mind, is still somewhat Rose, as, we learned about at the end of the episode, but it was already hinted at throughout.
By
But yeah,
the way,
Hmm?
what did you think of Connie in her ninja suit?
It was good. She's a good ninja.
She's a good ninja.
Very good ninja. But, yeah, song was really good. Again, it reminded me a lot of the Jailbreak song where, Garnet was fighting, God, I'm blanking on the name. What was her name?
Jasper.
Jasper, yeah, that reminded me of that a lot.
Jasper.
Really like that song, really like this song. But yeah, the way this series handles emotional issues, it's really, really well done for a kid's show. Like, yeah, you can tell it definitely is aimed still towards an adult. It's trying to grab like an adult teen audience too, but it's still a kid's show at the time, and the way it handles it is very well done. They can still dive into the emotional issues without going too deep and too dark. But you can still feel the emotional impact, and you still get invested in the characters. And yeah, it's just great to learn more about them and their backstory, and just how they all interact. So yeah, I really enjoyed it. I'll leave it at that. I will also give it 4 out of 5 and pass it on to Treebeard.
Alrighty then. So my opinion on the episode.
Yes.
The episode. First off, I'm gonna briefly talk about the intro. The intro and the first song of the episodes. I've never.
So now the actual series, for the episode intro, it's the intro inside the episode.
Well, I'm talking about both of them, really. I've never really cared all that much for a lot of the songs in Steven Universe. The first song of the story was kind of meh. I didn't care much for Jam Session. And the remix of the theme song is also a bit meh, but then again, I never really cared for the theme song to begin with, so make of that what you will.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the reasons Connie gave for wanting to learn how to fight, and I also really like Pearl's response. They're both very sensible. You're like, okay, yeah, this is logical, Kevin.
Pearl is the logical one, so yes.
Logical. And yeah, the whole issue of Pearl trying to put forth this virtue of self-sacrifice to its fullest extent is it really does reflect on this attitude she had about Steven, and by extension about him being basically the last legacy of Rose Quartz. And that he's too important to risk any harm to. And she's kind of taking Connie on as her page to emulate that need to put herself in front of Steven for his safety, and then that whole thing at the end about there not needing to be that much self-sacrifice is pretty interesting. But yeah, I'm gonna wait to see how this pans out in the next few episodes, because this seems like it's going to be building up to something. And like Chris said, like Chris's fondness for getting flashbacks, I really love learning more about the lore of what went on beforehand. And what kind of comes to mind about how the gems interact with Earth and they're fighting other gems kind of makes me think of Transformers, actually.
That's a very good analogy.
It is exactly like the Treebeard.
Yeah,
I'd say.
Because you got in Transformers, you have these aliens that have fought over the Earth millennia ago, and still continue to today, with one group that values the lives of the indigenous life and the other group that just wants to wipe them out. So that's a really interesting dynamic to think about, and it's kind of interesting to see these eons old aliens looking at these two humans with valuing them the same way that they value their own lives. But yeah, it's pretty good. Gonna see how it builds up later.
Alright, the score.
4 out of 5.
Alright, so we don't even have to do an average for this because we all gave the same score.
Yeah,
4 out of 5.
Yeah.
This episode gets 4.
It's
We
pretty
love it.
good. It's pretty good.
Pretty good. I'm just waiting to see what it leads up to.
Yeah, it is really. I think with the last Stephen Boom, it led into the season 1 finale, which obviously was a big deal. So it definitely will be interesting to see how this ends up resolving itself.
Connie, I just realized Connie's clothes kind of look like Cloud's swell.
Oh God.
You know, yeah, her ninja outfit. You mean?
Yeah.
Stop
You're
it.
kind of right.
Stop. Stop it.
Don't know if that was intentional or not, but
Become a square cube.
What are you talking about? It's Steven has a fucking Cloud figure.
we sure like talking about Final Fantasy VII a lot, since it was announced that the remake's coming out today. So
Look for our E3 podcast later on in the week. We'll talk about more.
yeah, we'll talk gams. But yeah, that pretty much sums up our episode thoughts. So before we sign off for the night, quick shout out to the Beach City Bugle, which is a new website started up by EQD's Calpain, all around swell guy. And yeah, you may or may not see this on that website. We're hoping it gets posted, but if not, so be it. But yeah, after fighting with Tumblr about whether bronies should also be able to enjoy this series as well, Calpain said, fuck you, and yeah, I'm gonna make my own website and you can do jack shit about it. And we're totally with him on that.
Because any opportunity to give the finger to Tumblr is a welcome one.
Well,
Yes.
the bad side of Tumblr. Let's make that clear. We like some of Tumblr, but you know who we're talking about. You know, the peoples,
Anyway.
the Piapples.
Yeah.
But yeah, so congrats to Calpain on making his website. We support you, and yeah, check it out. You can, I think it's beachcitybugle.com. Yes, it is. You can also find it on EQD on the sidebar if you're, following our EQD stuff typically. That's usually where people see our shit anyways.
That link will be in the description below.
Mhm.
Yes.
Will be linked. But yeah, thanks for joining us tonight. We'll be back this will be posted tomorrow morning on our YouTube channel, hopefully. Maybe you'll see it sometime tomorrow, I hope. But yeah, we'll be back all throughout the week as Stephen Bomb 2 continues with a new episode summary, and hopefully by the end of the week we'll also have TG with us, who is in Colorado.
And a measurably
wedding.
larger fan of the show than any of us.
Yeah, he is
Yeah.
probably the largest fan of the show. His analysis will
Literally
be very
and
well
figuratively.
valued.
Quite literally.
Well then, wow, that jokes. We're off to a...
He's
I'm sure
quite
people
literally
love
the
us.
biggest fan.
It's okay. We have nothing against fat people. We're just taking jokes at our friends' expense because we're assholes. Anyways, thank you, people. Good night. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
See you
Enjoy.
next time.
Laters.